Hello everyone, I'm Louise from Louise Levy Therapy Services. I'm here today with Jo Deatley. She's a hypnotherapy colleague of mine, and we thought we'd get together to have a chat just to see how we can kind of support you with your concerns about having hypnotherapy. We're both professional hypnotherapists and life coaches, so we've got a lot of experience between us. And Jo, how do you feel about answering some questions for everyone today?
Yeah, hi Louise. It's a great opportunity to to clarify a lot of the very common misconceptions and things that people have asked. Be a great opportunity to clear it all up today.
Great. And you might hear my dog barking in the background. It's one of the downsides of working from home, isn't it? So hopefully it won't be too disturbing for you. So, Jo, tell me about how people describe having hypnotherapy. What does it feel like?
First of all, hypnotherapy is a completely natural state. The trance state is natural. We are in and out of trance all day, not all day, every day, many times a day. When we're driving a car or even watching the TV, we're in and out of trance. And so people enjoy the deeper trance that we can help them to achieve by relaxing their body, then their mind, and then focusing on resolving a problem internally. And they do all that work internally themselves. And our job as a hypnotherapist is to guide them. They love being in trance. They love the relaxation and allowing their minds just to slow down a little bit, because we've got such a really busy, hectic lifestyles, and minds are often racing and they're thinking, overthinking, and getting a chance to slow down and just focus on a problem is great.
And as you were saying that, I was thinking that generally you're right. We are busy, but right now we have a lot more time to reflect inwardly. And so lots of things might be coming to the surface for people, whether it's to do with their relationships or career concerns. Now that we're all facing some challenges about working online and the new normal, so to speak. So hypnotherapy can be so helpful, can't it, Jo, with helping with all of these underlying subconscious emotions that we may not even be fully aware of on a conscious level, such as fear and anxiety and frustration and even anger. What do you think, Jo?
Or barking, yes.
Barking.
You're absolutely right, Louise. You're absolutely right. And the combination of things that we use, the tools that we use, can help with the coaching, the hypnotherapy, the NLP, we can help to understand the emotions, and we should never ignore our emotions and work with them. And from a relaxed state, you can do and look at things differently, have a different perspective, and go in and give yourself an opportunity to change.
Mm-hmm.
Take suggestions, some different ways of thinking. And it's a really great time and a great way to channel in all of the potentials that we've got in our minds for change. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And
so we're focusing inwardly when we're doing that, aren't we? And we kind of let go of the whole outside world so that you can have this just clear space in your mind just to think about what's really important to you, what your values are, what you want to hold on to, and even what you want to let go of, isn't it, really? And as you mentioned NLP there, which I know we're both master practitioners of NLP, and that's not quite so well known, is it, Jo? As far as coaching is understood and hypnotherapy is more understood these days. Tell me a little bit about NLP and how we can help with that.
Well, with NLP is just a tool that I use in life, really. It helps you to manage your brain, rewire, if you've got anything that's not working quite as you'd like it to, you basically you have an update of your brain on how you think, how you look at things. And yeah, it's a fantastic tool. I could go on about NLP all day, but there you go.
What I like about NLP is this idea of having a rep system. We call them representational systems, where some of us are more what we call kinesthetic, so we're much more sensitive, more feely, if you like, and other people are more visual, and some are more auditory, and simply by changing our language patterns, using the words that we use in suggestion, will really resonate with one particular person or another, won't it, depending on what rep system they are.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's how when you find someone that you can relate to, it's really important, because I think a lot of the misconceptions come where people go to a therapist and they don't relate to them. But when you find somebody that you can relate to, you build that trust, just as you build with people that you meet. You build that trust and you can work with them. And that's really important. That's really
Absolutely.
important.
And I don't know about you, Jo, but some people will come to me and they think I'm going to hypnotize them straight off the bat. And I always explain that that first session is diagnostic, because I really need to get a detailed understanding of what's going on for a person before I can then devise a screed, even out of my head or whatever, to help them with those suggestions of change. So it's usually at the second session, for me anyway, Jo, I don't know if it's different for you, that I would really start to use hypnosis to help somebody.
Yeah, and I get that, and you need that time. And so I generally have what I call a breakthrough session, which is a very long session at first, where we do the diagnostic and then we do some trance work at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there on, we see what we need going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes me on to, I know, something a lot of people ask me is about how many sessions will I need? And for me, I will always say that it depends on you, it depends on the problem, it depends how many things you've got involved, and that sort of thing. So, but I tend not to see people for more than 6 sessions. Sometimes they come back just because they like a trance, or just because they like a top up after a while, which I get. You know, sometimes if a problem is solved, if a severe problem is solved after a few sessions and it's only solved for 6 months, come back in 6 months. Wow, that's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people like to come back, but generally 6 sessions, many things are fixed in one session.
So it's not just smoking. As you're saying that, I was thinking about smoking cessation, which is typically done, isn't it, in 1 or 2 sessions.
Yeah.
But for other things, you're right. Mostly it would be up to sort of 5, 6 sessions, unless you was experiencing severe trauma. In that case, you might need some more.
Yeah.
And as you say, a top up periodically. I have weight loss clients because I do virtual gastric band, which is really successful. And for weight loss, we don't want you to be losing the weight super fast. We want you to be losing it just a few pounds a week. So with those clients, I may say, check in on me once a month for a period of about a year while they're reaching this long-term goal. And that works really well.
Yeah. And as you say, it's for different people, different things. 6 sessions is a lot for me. People will ask, you know, I want to stop biting my nails. So typically that's 1 session done. But you get some people that you know, oh, I've started again, and they'll come back for 2, 3 sessions. But generally it's 1 session for that. Mm-hmm. So it depends on what the problem is and how you cooperate and participate, because it's not a magic wand. We need you to help. We need you to participate in this, and how many issues there are and how complex they are.
Mm-hmm. And I know when I work with young children in particular, they actually get a remarkable result even in just 2 or 3 sessions, because they have such good imaginations that just by using storytelling and metaphors, you can really get them to their end goal much quicker than adults. And of course the parents are always really grateful when you're working with children. You're always working with the parents as well, so it's really rewarding to do that. What other things do you tend to treat, Jo?
I've got a whole range of things. I don't I'm supposed to niche in binge, like drinking, alcohol problems, but I do so many other things. I specialise in everything. No, I don't. I'll take that back. I specialise in alcohol problems. However, I do try to deal with everything because I love the variety. I love the challenges. People come to me sometimes and say, Jo, can you fix this? And I'll go, if it's new, and I'll think about it. I say, I don't know, let's find out,
Yeah.
because that's the only way, if something's new, something's really challenging, who knows?
Mm.
Somebody could come in. I've had some great examples, someone coming in the door, not being able to walk. They've been diagnosed with lots of health problems, and then walking out again. So when things like that happen, that is down to the person. It's down to, okay, as the doctor said, that this is medically possible and this is all in the head. Yeah, and if so, let's make it happen.
Mm.
So the scale of things that we deal with, it's phenomenal.
Yeah. And for me, I get a lot of people coming for cognitive hypnotherapy because they want to change the way they think about things, change the way they feel and behave. And so I do spend a lot of time in the beginning getting a real understanding of how they perceive life and how you allow yourself to be affected, for example, if you're a worrier or worried what other people think and that sort of thing. So cognitive hypnotherapy and clinical hypnotherapy both work really, really well together. Yeah. So, what else would you say, advice would you give as far as having therapy online, Joe? What would you say? Because I know that at the moment there's a lot of concern that it might not be as effective as having hypnotherapy face to face in a clinic or a consulting room.
Well, I think it's just as effective as having it online as it is face to face, with maybe one or two caveats to that. Because what we do as hypnotherapists, we're trained to look for any tells, any facial expressions or things that are going. So we're watching the client one to one. So for any sign that something's wrong, right, whatever, we're trying, even though we might not know what is going on inside, if the speaking at the time, but we are trained to watch out, and we can do that just as easily online. The only caveat to that is if you were doing the initial session for a terrible health problem, I would say I would want to see them in person first.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I would say online is perfectly well. And in fact, it's better in many ways.
In some respects, it can be because you don't have to worry about parking spaces and that kind of thing. You're in the comfort of your own home, so you can choose to sit wherever you want or lay down even in your bedroom. As long as we can observe, that's the most important thing, isn't it? That we can keep an eye on you and make sure that you're safe in your own environment. And of course, you're not going to put yourself at risk of coronavirus or anything else, are you? There are some
No.
advantages for sure.
And people have been concerned, what if they lose connection while we're working? And that I've been asked that a couple of times. And I guess just like any hypnotherapy session, we explain to you before you have your trance what to expect, and what, if before trance is natural, so that even if the therapist just wasn't able to talk anymore, or you lost your line, you would just wake up eventually. All right, and we can put in suggestions before, so that if you lost the connection, you would just naturally wake up. Trance state is not unconscious. It doesn't mean that you're unconscious. It doesn't mean that you're asleep. It means you're very much aware of what's going on, but in a relaxed state. So we are focusing very clearly on a problem, on a situation. If you lose a connection and I stop talking, you'll just wake up. The worst thing is going to happen, you're going to go to sleep and enjoy the sleep, but you're in a safe environment.
That's right. And often just by explaining that in the beginning, that if the connection were to drop, you will naturally wake up and we can reconnect if we've still got time of the session that we need to use. That's absolutely fine. And as you were speaking there, Joe, it made me think about somebody, a client who said to me, "Oh, are you going to put me to sleep?" And I said, "No, I'm going to wake you up." And what I meant by that was, I'm going to just raise your awareness about what's really going on for you. And it's almost like that light bulb moment that we look for when we're supporting clients, isn't it? Well, it's been lovely chatting to you, Joe. And we're going to do a lot more of this. If you feel that there's something that you'd like us to address in particular, any specific topics, do let us know so that we can use all our skills and expertise to help you with that. And you're up for that, aren't you, Jo?
Yeah, definitely. Love to help and raise awareness of how powerful these tools are and life-changingly wonderful.
Absolutely. Our minds is just such a powerful beast. We just need to harness it and utilize it in the most powerful way for us. All right, Jo. Well, it's been lovely chatting. So bye for now. Bye.
Bye, Louise.